Welcome everyone, my name is Game Prodigy, and today we're going to be dealing with planes in Enlisted. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer here, there's fighters and there's bombers, and what I'm going to teach you today is for bombers. For fighters, some of these things will apply, but flaps and the keyboard will be helpful to be able to do certain maneuvers in fighters. What we want to talk about is bombers. And if you think about the game, you have your soldiers on the ground. They're kind of the backbone of your team. Your engineers win the games. You have your tanks that are able to take out large amounts of troops and be able to combat other tanks. And then you have kind of the super weapon of the game, which is the plane. And the reason why I call it a super weapon is because it has the ability to do large amounts of impact on the game, but only in specific times. So with the plane, when you come in, you bomb, you can kill tanks, you can kill any tank with the medium to larger bombers, and you can kill large amounts of troops. And so in terms of your target identification, I want to talk about what you go after. So the number one thing you go after in a bomber is high-level tanks. The number two thing you go after is large concentrations of troops or spawn points that are exposed. And then the last thing that you go after is the lower-level tanks. But all this is great, grand, and wonderful. How do you actually fly the plane? And I'm going to do it at 110% throttle. And you adjust the throttle with just the middle mouse button and only my mouse. If you touch the keyboard, the keys will take over and the mouse won't work. So the number one way people crash in a plane is they're trying to use the mouse and they're trying to use the keys at the same time. So let's get right into it. The very first thing I'm going to do in my plane is I'm going to mouse wheel up to 110% throttle. And you want to get up to somewhere in the 500 to 600 meter altitude. And once you get there, it normally starts you around there. This is the practice field. It puts me a little low. But if you notice, left hand, not doing anything. And I'm using the little circle to decide where my plane's going to go. And this takes a little bit of practice. But once you get the hang of it, it's not bad. And so once you're about 1,500 meters away from your target, you're going to nose down, not severely down, but nose down at an angle, start coming in. And right before you start to swoop up is when you're going to press spacebar to fire or to drop your bombs, or press R to fire your rockets. Now, where are the bombs going to fall? Great question. If you start going down, where my target cursor's at is where they're going to fall. So we're going to go in, we're going to drop the bombs, we're going to pull straight up. And then what I like to do is I like to roll to the right and start heading back towards the reload. Now, rockets are going to actually fire. So if this is my reticle, rockets are going to actually fire lower. So you want to aim a little, you want to compensate for that and go and make sure they aim a little bit lower. But bombs, generally, as long as you've got that nice slope, they're going to go right where your reticle is aiming at. And so then the question becomes, well, where do I actually have to hit these things? I've dropped on tanks. It seems to show me that I'm hitting them, but I'm not damaging or killing them. Okay. This is important. So for bombers, you actually want to drop the bombs right next to the tank. Excuse me. And if you have the bigger bombs, you can actually be a little further away from them. If you actually hit them with the bombs, they're going to bounce and they're not going to actually injure the tank. So when a tank is spotted, you want to look at the icon, you want to go down. Let me see if I can find something that looks kind of like a tank. This thing. We want to go just to the side of it. And up and out. And if we land it right next to it, then we're going to destroy it. So for the lower level planes, the ones, so this one I have right now is a medium level. It has 50 kilogram bombs and one 250 kilogram bomb. And then for the ally side, I think it has 100-pound bombs. The 100-pound bombs and the 50 kilogram bombs, you basically have to land it directly on the heads of something in order to kill it. The 250 kilogram and the 500-pound bombs, a lot more fun. You're going to be able to kill things more easily. In terms of flaps and all that stuff, it's with 1 and 2, and the only reason why I use them is if I'm dogfighting. Other than that, I use just the mouse. You're going to find out you're going to have a whole different experience if you just use the mouse and you control it this way without having to worry about your left hand. You're going to be able to kill more people, you're going to be able to impact your team more, and you're actually going to feel like you're going to be able to use the planes. So for dogfighting, ignore all of this. You're going to have to use the keyboard. Flaps are important. H for the air brake is important. But for just bombing, you can get away with just the keyboard and the mouse, and you're going to love it. I have a few examples of bombing in real game with this and with the allies. And when we get back, we'll wrap it up. So let's check out that video.
Is that you flying off the driver?
Kind of.
Shooting at the ground?
Yeah, that's me. Squadoosh!
Marks.
There's a tank right in front of the spawn.
Rip those.
Okay. Their big bomber killed himself.
Yeah. Why do I hear another plane though?
It's me. Bye-bye, T-26. All right, I hope you liked it. If you want to see more of Enlisted gameplay live, be sure to check me out, Twitch TV/Game Prodigy. As always, and until next time, keep making bad decisions. I will see you later. Adios.